Okay, so you just had a past life regression.
Yes.
With the intention of removing blocks and things that were holding you back in this incarnation. So tell us about what you got.
Okay. The first one that I had, I definitely could see going there into the cave.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first touched the crystalline structure, it took me back to, and it was very distinct, 2700 after death, AD. And it was like Scandinavian, that's all I kept getting was the word.
Mm-hmm.
It was a guy, so to me it looked like Jesus, but it wasn't Jesus, but it was similar clothing.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really have feet on then, so I was on like a little road in the mountains.
Didn't have shoes on.
Didn't have shoes on at that time.
Yeah.
Had quite a long beard. He was 47. His name was Ari. I heard a woman in an accent calling his name, but that's as close as I can say it. And then I turned and I saw quite a nice, not a hut, but it was a home, a bit primitive, and a woman at the front, very beautiful, dark hair, and she was kneading bread, I think, or grains or something, and I could see the smoke in the hut. So she was obviously getting the fire ready. I saw a young child running around, a young boy, so I was only the one boy. So playing with sticks and some round thing, I don't know what that was. So he was very happy. So that was the first thing. Then you asked us to go to a place another place. The significant place. And it was like in a very musky, like candlelit fireplace. It's not a pub, but like a meeting area, so similar. And I saw him. He was like a lecturer, or he was a philosopher or a teacher. I don't know what it was, but he was arguing with all the men in the village. I couldn't really work out what it was. He was trying to improve something, and it was too different. They didn't want to. There were lots of yelling, and then you asked us to go above it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went above it. I went to the higher realm.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept getting the words, you can't push onto others what they're not ready to hear. So you can only accept what it is that what they're willing to come up with. So just let it be, just like let it go, let it be, and then and just trust that it will work out how it was. And I found that really hard because my mind was going, but he's going to die and I just knew it. But then you said go back to that and see what happens at the death scene. And I could see one of the men was quite upset because I could see that you said apply the higher learning. So I had backed back and it was like he was saying, okay, well then you can come up with a solution. I will be here if you need it. And then they were arguing, saying that I was backing down. What did I know? I was a traitor or some sort of thing. Anyway, so they ended up crucifying me. Mm-hmm. So, and it wasn't a particularly nice. So it was one of the very distinct things. It was warm, but it was very icy cold air, but it was warm. So it must have been summer, spring. I don't know what it was, where it was in the time. But when they had put me up on the cross kind of thing, it was something that they used to do. It's just how they did, just to make an example. But it wasn't Jesus. So, and I remember seeing the wife and the child at the bottom crying.
And so as you rose above that,
into
higher learning, what did you receive?
I kept saying, in my mind, I was on the way up, all I kept saying is, you didn't have my back. You didn't have my back. And I know that's one of my issues, that I don't feel that I trust what I have. Like, I don't trust what it is that I'm saying. And they're saying that I just need to, sometimes you just need to let things evolve the way they do. It's just how it is. I couldn't really get what the higher learning was. All they kept saying is, you can trust that this was what was meant to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept saying, but I died. And they said, yes, but that was a process of learning for you. Like, I have to let others just follow their path. Like, you can't push people into anything. So that was that one.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one was quite funny.
Mm-hmm.
When we got the feet, I actually, before you told us 3, 2, 1, I could see my feet already going into something. So I went from, I could see the old guy's feet into a beautiful young lady's feet, and I could see them slipping into some very beautiful decorative sandals, and then I could see the crystal beading on a dress. And she was in a very white gown, so straight away I kind of thought it must have been a wedding. So then I slowly went up into her body, and she had beautiful long sleeves with crystals, and she was really adorned. But the thing is strange, I couldn't work out whether she had blonde or dark hair. It kept swapping the two. She had a veil across her face, and then you asked what time, and it was like 700 AD. I went, were there people around that time? I have no idea. I don't really know when the time was. I just got European, but whatever that is. And it was a castle that I was in. I don't know, but she was 27, and it was funny, her name was Ariana. So the other guy was Ari, and she was Ariana. And I remember as a child, I used to draw women with veils, and it came to me when I saw it, and I never knew why. I thought it must have been Aladdin, or I had no idea. But and then the image of one of the drawings I used to draw of the dark-haired girl kept interfering with the colour of her hair, so I don't know if she had blonde or dark hair. Anyway, she was quite upset. She was very solemn. I could see people coming in, rushing in, fussing over her. She wasn't very happy at all. And then you said, take it to a significant event, and I saw her walking up these massive stairs with a guy. He seemed a lot older, and beautiful. I could see the train, and like I was looking from above down, so I could see them going up. And then when she turned to him, like, she was very upset. And I just knew there wasn't quite something right there. But she married this man, and the first person that came to my mind was my husband, because he's very, in her eyes, not very good looking. He had a very big beard. He was a lot older. Same like my husband. I thought the same when I met him. He has a beard and a lot older than me. And they got married, and it came to their wedding night, and I could see him ripping her clothes off, and he was saying how beautiful she was. But she was a virgin. And so she found that quite traumatic, because then they showed me my son. But she had a childhood sweetheart that she had grown up same age. And because she was, I don't know if it was a princess or some sort, but it was to bring two kingdoms together. So she, the daughter had to be betrothed to this man. And I, like you said, to rise above it, and I could see her just enduring everything. Every time she had his hands on her, she just repulsed and cringed. She was trying to do the wifely thing and be there for her husband, but her mind was elsewhere with this young man. And this young man was in absolute turmoil because he hated this man because he had taken her. And then we went up to higher learning, and the only words I kept getting off was sacrifice. Sometimes you need to sacrifice things to be able to learn something, or go without something. And she was arguing with them as if to say this wasn't something that I would have endured. And so then you said to come back down, and she was pregnant. Despised the fact that she was pregnant to this man and that she would never have her partners who she really wanted to be with child, so she killed herself. So even though her husband was good to her, she decided she couldn't do it anymore.
So you went up into higher learning after that?
Yeah.
What was the higher learning for her when she had killed herself?
Well, I couldn't really tell because that's when I kept getting flashes into my own life, because my son and my husband never got on since the day they were born, and he's very clingy to me. And me and my husband are going through stuff as well. And I just want to leave. It's like he loves me dearly and he does everything for me. And so I could understand it was that lifetime.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we need to clear.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was very significant. And I have always kind of known that. I have actually been told that. I never knew to what extent. So it was really very significant to the fact of, it was, both ages were, 7, so 47, 27. And even the day I got married with my husband, it was almost like I felt like I had to because of my son. But who in fact was my, betrothed in another lifetime, but never got there. So he really wanted to come through instead of this life to be with me. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So he did come
Yeah,
through
he
and
did.
be with you in this lifetime.
And he's always saying to me, Mummy, we don't need Daddy. We could just be you and me. And my husband gets really heartbroken over it. And sometimes I say to him, sometimes I could just leave. It wouldn't really bother me. And that's the things I've been going through the last 10 years since I met him. And especially since I had my son. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. All right, let's do some work on that. All right, so you've just explained about the past life regression that you had. And as you reflect on that now, what's coming up for you emotion-wise and in your body?
For whatever it is, inability to love someone that truly loves you, even though there's obviously that karmic thing there. When I was talking, it was like my heart, not ripping out, but like completely closed, and like that really sad feeling in the pit of your stomach.
Yep, okay. So even though I've got this sad feeling in the pit of my stomach,
Even though I've got this sad feeling in the pit of my stomach,
and my heart felt like it was tearing apart,
and my heart felt like it was tearing apart,
when I remember that lifetime,
when I remember that lifetime,
when I had a lover
when I had a lover
that I couldn't be with,
that I couldn't be with,
and I had to be with someone else
and I had to be with someone else
for the greater good.
for the greater good,
And I felt like I'd sacrificed my life.
and I felt like I sacrificed my life.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and this feeling in the pit of my stomach
and the feeling in this pit of my stomach
and my heart.
and my heart.
This lifetime
This lifetime
that still has relevance to me now.
that still has relevance to me now.
The soul of my son,
The soul of my son,
who was the soul of my lover in that life,
who was the soul of my lover in my life,
that I couldn't be with.
that I couldn't be with.
The feeling that I had to be with this older man,
The feeling that I had to be with this older man,
even though I didn't want to be.
even though I didn't want to be.
And I'd closed my heart off to love,
And I closed my heart off to love.
even though he'd loved me.
Even though he loved me,
I closed my heart off to love,
I closed my heart off to love,
thinking that I could only love one person.
thinking I could only love one person.
But what if I can love more than one person?
What if I could love more than one person?
I believed in that lifetime
I believed in that lifetime
I could only love one person.
I could only love one person.
And I blocked love by holding on to sadness.
And I blocked love by holding on to sadness.
I blocked love by holding on to sadness in the pit of my stomach.
What?
I blocked love
I blocked love
by holding on to sadness
by holding on to sadness in the pit of my stomach.
And I'm still blocking love
And I'm still blocking love
in this current life.
in this current life.
And I choose to step through that pattern
And I choose to step through that pattern
and that belief
and that belief
that love can be so constricted to just one person.
that love could be so constricted to just that one person.
And I open my heart to love
And I open my heart up to love
and appreciate love from all sources,
and appreciate love from all sources.
dissolving and letting go of that sadness in the pit of my stomach.
Dissolving and letting go of the sadness in the pit of my stomach.
And as I let go of that energy in that lifetime,
And as I let go of the energy of
in that
that
lifetime, the man that I loved and couldn't be with
the man that I loved and I couldn't be with
was also released from that,
was also released from that,
so that he could find love too.
that he could find love too.
Releasing and letting go of the cords
Releasing and letting go of the cord
that kept us trapped in sadness,
that kept us trapped in sadness.
dissolving that sadness in the pit of my stomach.
Dissolving the sadness in the pit of my stomach.
As I ask my guides and higher self
As I ask my guides and my higher self
to cut the cord
to cut the cord
from my stomach,
from my stomach.
releasing the sadness,
Releasing the sadness.
releasing the need to have to be together,
Releasing the need of having to be together.
and opening myself up to love all around me,
And opening up myself to love all around me.
opening up my heart to love,
Opening up my heart to love.
allowing him to find love,
Allowing him to find love.
and open up his heart to love.
And open up his heart to love.
I'd constricted him
I constricted him
just as he constricted me,
just as he constricted me.
and now we're both free to feel open to love
And now we're both free to feel open to love
and to receive love,
and to receive it.
receiving love into my heart,
Receiving love into my heart
back in that lifetime,
back in that lifetime.
even when she fell pregnant,
Even when she fell pregnant.
allowing her to connect with that
Allowing her to
soul
connect
in
with
her belly,
that soul in her belly.
as well as her husband,
As well as
who treated her so well,
who treated her so well.
who loved her
Who
unconditionally.
loved her unconditionally. Can I just say that I absolutely hate being touched. I remember their wedding night
Mhm.
Yeah.
Watching that wedding night,
and watching that wedding night
where I felt out of control.
where I felt out of control.
He was much older.
And he was much older.
I didn't know what to do.
I didn't know what to do.
I didn't know what to expect,
I didn't know what to expect. I felt violated.
and I felt violated.
Yeah.
No wonder I can't stand to be touched.
No wonder I can't stand to be touched.
Giving her the lesson of love
Giving her the lesson of love
and loving.
and loving.
Giving her the wisdom of a non-virgin,
Giving her the wisdom of a non-virgin
so she knew what to expect
so she knew what to expect
and not feel violated.
and not feel violated.
So she felt she could give,
So she felt she could give.
so she didn't feel it was a duty.
So she didn't feel that it had to be a duty.
Allowing her to feel that she had choice.
Allowing her to feel that she had choice.
As I watch and see her partaking in lovemaking,
As I watch and see her partaking in lovemaking.
giving her heart,
Giving her heart.
giving her body,
Giving her body.
out of choice,
Out of choice.
and enjoying
And enjoying
being touched
being touched.
as she enjoys touching as well.
As she enjoys touching as well.
Releasing the trauma,
Releasing the trauma.
the unexpectedness of it all.
The unexpectedness of it all.
Giving her the wisdom
Giving her the wisdom
of opening herself up
of opening herself up
and partaking
and partaking
out of choice.
out of choice.
So take a deep breath. Tissue. How does that feel now when you think about her having the wisdom of being, experience
it was almost like somebody, an older woman was whispering in her ear,
saying this is what you do.
this is what you do, this is what might happen, this may hurt, this may feel really wrong, but just try to relax and enjoy it.
It'll get better.
Yeah, and that's what they said. Yeah, then she ended up being pregnant very early. But yeah, I could see her somewhat smile, but yeah, I was waiting for the multi-dimensional layer thing.
Because we're already
yeah.
But what's in your body now, and you tune into that?
When you started speaking about the young boy having to find his own, it's like he was then allowed to go
and
find love, because he had a lot of anger, and he just screwed up girls' lives, and but yeah, I feel towards the end I was just started to feel a bit more at ease. So it's like, really, it's not that bad.
Good.
I got a shooting pain in my head, but then it just went. So
okay. And as you think of this lifetime now, with once again, it's sort of repeated that you're with an older man who loves you dearly,
and whom we don't have intimate relations with.
Okay, and so and whom you have trouble connecting with opening your heart.
Yeah.
So as I bring through all the learning from that lifetime, I open my heart. And my body. To love. On all levels. And as I receive love. I'm also able to give love. Allowing myself to give love. Just as much as I receive it. Expanding my heart. To all levels of love. And being able to give and receive. Equally. Knowing that love doesn't have to be singular. And allowing the soul that is my son. To have an expansive giving and receiving of love too.
Receiving love too.
It doesn't have to be focused on one person. And I release him from that past life. And allow him to feel love on all levels. And connect with people easily. Without any anger.
All feelings of stupidity.
When he
feels silly, he lashes out. When he feels like he's embarrassed, he lashes out. Which would have been
connected to that.
Yeah, because he would have felt like an idiot.
Yeah,
or felt
angry
betrayed.
and betrayed and embarrassed.
Yeah.
So as you release all of that from the past and feel it being released in the present, how does that feel for you moving forward?
Positive. So, like, there's hope. So it's just a matter of stepping forward.
And so as you imagine yourself receiving love from a husband that always says he loves you dearly, and you weren't able to receive that and give it back, does it feel like there's more of a figure of eight flowing now?
Yeah, it actually feels like I don't have a wall up anymore. It just feels like it's just disappeared. It's not there.
Yeah, good.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
See how we change the past, it changes the present.
And it's so simple. So, yeah.
It doesn't have to be that deep and involved. We're working energetically.
Yeah.
And intentionally. Intention is very huge in this sort of work.
Yeah. Actually, that was one of my intentions, was self-love. Like, to find that real purpose of self-love. Yeah, it is, I suppose. More than anything.
Yeah, because how could you have self-love when you had a lifetime where you despised yourself and your body? Yeah.
And, that's also maybe why I'm big.
And cut yourself off from love. Yeah.
So, seeing how beautiful she was and how slim she was kind of wanted. And I used to look at even my twin sister, you know, all the guys wanted her, I didn't want to be like that. I've always been bigger than her, no matter what.
Yeah, and that's a reason why too, because if you didn't want to be wanted,
Yeah,
like you didn't want to be wanted by that older man
Yeah.
that you had to marry,
yeah,
you didn't want to be sexually wanted by
No.
him either. So that's why in this lifetime you've had that protection
Yeah.
of, I don't want to be wanted.
Yeah.
And so you can release that now. Energetically, your body can release that now. It's safe to be wanted in a way that is loving,
yeah,
that you can give and receive of love.
yeah. Either other way.
Mm.
So I should lose 10 kilos now.
Naturally,
Yeah,
and easily.
yes.
Naturally and easily, it'll just fall off.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah,
Jenny.
well done. Thank you.